Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the incredible city of Riyadh for the 2024 Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. My name is Mark Lewis. This is the GCTV live studio, and this is the King Abdullah Financial District in Saudi Arabia. And this is the halfway point of today's Super Grand Prix. I don't know whether or not there will be many who will be surprised with the news that Victor Bettendorf leads at the halfway point. He will be last to go in round 2 of tonight's Super Grand Prix. A performance from the man from Luxembourg, last to go at the end of round 1, and he will now be last to go at the end of round 2. Max Kuhne, season winner, the 2024 LGCT overall season championship winner, is in second place and will be second last to go. Janne Meyer-Zimmermann doing well. Gilles Thomas and Hermitage Calon will be the fourth last to go. Some of the big names that we have spoken about have come to deliver the goods. A closer look, faster than them all, taking a full second off the time of Max Kuhne. Victor Bettendorf now leads. And as we said, Janne Meyer-Zimmermann and Messi van het Rootershof first out the gate in round 1. Delivers a clear inside 78 seconds and now finds herself in a very, very strong position. Michael Duffy, with time penalties, finds himself somewhat in no man's land between the clears and then wedging himself in between those on 4, like Renzo De Luca, Peter Vos and Abdel Said. I'm afraid on the following page, you'll see some rather surprising names. Everyone was wondering what was going to happen with Rockefeller and Eduardo Alvarez Aznar. He has a fence down. Nicola Philippans has 2 fences down. Christian Kukuk, after a golden summer, had a spook at a fence, recovered well, but still took 2 fences down to find himself on 8 penalties. And Inez Jolie, with 10 penalties, will be the first to go in the second round of the LGCT Super Grand Prix. Speaking of Janne Meyer-Zimmermann, she will be very late to go in that second round. We caught up with her to get some thoughts on that performance and how she was able to deliver that round with Messi.
Janne, you were first in tonight. A really tough job to go in there first, but what a wonderful clear.
Thank you very much. I was also, when I saw I'm first to go, I was like, my first moment was like, no. And then my second moment was like, okay, but you just do your plan. You know your horse. I know him so well. So usually when I walk the course, I have a first idea how I would like to do it. But then, of course, not always everything goes right. But yeah, I was super happy how he jumped. He got quite careful under the lights. I think he really could feel that there's a special thing here tonight. But he gave us everything, and yeah, I'm just proud and happy.
He was phenomenal. He had to reach for quite a few. He's got so much scope, particularly over that last. I don't know if you've had a minute to look at the replay of that, but it's incredible.
Yeah, I could see that coming a little bit because we took our time for the plank before, and then it was towards the entrance, and then easily you have a second where the horse also thinks, okay, now we got it. But then there's this one more ox and it's wide, it's huge. And then I started to push a bit and he was like, oh shit, we have to fly. And yeah, but he flew.
He did fly. Well, that is round 1 done, a clear in the bag. We'll let you go and refocus for round 2. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Can you see the energy? Can you see the excitement on the face of Janne Meyer-Zimmermann and Messi van het Rootershof delivering that clear, doing it very early as well, and describing this LGCT Super Grand Prix as something special. She will be in a very good position come the second round of tonight's Grand Prix. Gilles Thomas, Frederick de Backer and I spoke a lot about him earlier on tonight. We spoke about the incredible nature of Hermitage Calon. Let's show you what the Belgian then was able to do today a little bit earlier on in the first round of tonight's Super Grand Prix. Everyone was keeping a very close eye on him, making sure that he lives up to the hype, lives up to the expectation. Well, Hermitage Calon doing exactly that. Still just 10 years of age is the chestnut. And Gilles Thomas, if you are looking for a classier rider, if you are looking for a smoother young rider, this shows you textbook how to get around this track, how to conquer, how to make it look smooth. And Gilles Thomas and Hermitage Cologne go on to deliver a very, very impressive clear that now sees him amongst that group of clears in that second round. They will be quite late to go. Disappointment, I think, for Christian Kukuk, the man who had a golden summer, the man who took Max Kuhne all the way down to the wire in the LGCT overall season fight. Did not have things go his way today, the German, but there must be credit given to him, because when there was the spook, when there was the error from Just Be Gentle, the spook from Just Be Gentle, the correction, the strength shown by Christian Kukuk to get back on track was simply immense. Let's hear from the German and get his thoughts as to what took place.
Christian, just try and describe to us what happened in there.
Yeah, to be honest, I could now be very disappointed and feeling like it's the end of the world, because for sure I had big expectations for tonight. But to be honest, I'm absolutely not angry with my horse. She just got very scared for 1 second there on that line straight to the short side on the other side, and there's this huge camera angle. And she was already on the first day a little bit spooky there, but when I started today, actually she felt quite okay. And also the whole course felt amazing. So there's no reason for me to be disappointed if we talk about that she wasn't in shape or something like that. She just got very green. She's only 10 years old. She has not so much experience under the flat lie especially. So I'm not angry with her at all. And you could see she jumped it actually. We managed to jump it somehow. That shows her character actually in the end. She really wants to do the job. She just got scared and shy for a second and hesitated. But I'm more angry with myself. I should have rode her another class here maybe. I only did 1 class 2 days ago, and that was now in the end not enough. I should have jumped her another time. That might have helped us today, but so that's my explanation for it. I'm absolutely not super disappointed, especially not with the horse, with myself and the management a little bit, but today this is not the end of the world. It was kind of a training round now in the end, because she finished very well then also in the end. She was a little forward in the triple, but after that the last fences felt very good. So it was a nice training round to the completely wrong side or time. It was a bad timing for a training class. I wanted to say it that way, but that's how it is in our sport. They are not robots, we are not robots. So tomorrow is another day, but also today there's a second round. I hope she learned something from the first round, and if everything is okay in the second round, I'm not disappointed today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The thoughts of Christian Kukuk and Just Be Gentle after that spook, that run out, and how it was corrected by the Germans. Simply phenomenal. Frederik de Backer. Frederik de Backer. Wow. Yeah. And this is just round 1, my friend. This is just the opening round. And when we were chatting off air now, what should we chat about? Do we go into the group of double clears? Do we talk about maybe the fences falling for some of the big names like Christian Kukuk, for Rocky and Aznar? Do we talk about Victor Betanov? Do we talk about Max Kuhne?
Do we talk about riding mistakes?
Do we talk about riding mistakes? Do we talk about Messi van der Rotersdorf? Shall we just go 1 to 15 and just recap this? Because what a round to get us into the position to now go into round 2 of the Super Grand Prix.
Shall we start with Quirex and Michael Duffy?
Oh,
my goodness me. How good was that?
Unbelievable, right?
2,252 days of not jumping a 5-star Grand Prix.
And then comes in and does that.
5 years in the field without a saddle on.
And only has time penalties,
yeah.
Which, by the way, we're also surprised, because at that time, you and I also were trying to keep an eye on the clock. But this is just one of the many storylines that make this, as it stands already now, a phenomenal halfway point of how the Super Grand Prix shapes up.
Foxy de la Roque has jumped 5 classes and won 4. If you have to pick yours out of the 4 that have jumped clear, you cannot go anywhere else than with Foxy, right?
And isn't it interesting how this proves how, for that reason alone, in the build-up to this week, people were talking about Victor, the name was floating around, but when you have Christian Kukuk and you have, I was going to say Lionel Messi, when you have Messi van der Rotersdorf and Janne, when you have Max Kuhne, when you have these Rockies and Aznars, somehow we thought, for some reason, just let's not talk about Victor just yet. And then he comes out last in round 1
and how
delivers the clear that he does. It was cool, it was calm, it was quick. And now he's last to go in the second round.
Such modern riding, so light, that we know how competitive he is. We know how much the horses want to do it for him. I mean, this is now the favorite by a mile. I don't want to be in the shoes of those other clears to put pressure on him, because with pressure, rails falls at meter 65, and you have to put him under pressure. I mean, you cannot give it to him on a platter, can you?
Based on how he has jumped here tonight, and based on what we've seen from Gilles Thomas, from Janne Meyer-Zimmermann, from Max Kuhne, earlier on tonight we suggested that sometimes winning on a 4 is still possible because of how tough the playoffs are. Maybe there was more ring-related with Prague and small, intimate fences coming quick. From how these 4 have looked, I don't think that there is faults allowed here for the winner to try and get on top of the podium, surely.
Let's be clear, double clear will put you on the podium. That's already something that we could say. Yep. Double clear gets you on the podium. Never was the Super Grand Prix won by a combination that finished on 4 penalties from the first round. There's a whole group of those on 4 penalties, but I think that we have to look at those leading 4 to crown our winner. Maybe something happens so that a fast rider on 4 penalties, because the penalties from round 1 get carried into round 2. The time in round 2 will be decisive, so it's not impossible that a 4 and a clear get you onto the podium. That's not impossible, but double clear will determine the winner.
And let's also remind us what the history now says about Victor Bettendorf leading in round 1. What do the numbers and what does the history tell us about a leader in round 1?
The first 3 years, so that's 18, 19 and 2021, the Grand Prix, Super Grand Prix was always won by the leader of round 1. That was Tops Alexander, that was, help me here, that was Ben Meyer, and that was Hendrik van Eckermann.
Van Eckermann, yes, Daniel Deusser
then,
came later.
The years after, the Deusser win was not coming off of the lead. Deusser was not the round 1 leader. That was Skau, if I have it right. Last year, it was the Vos who was the round 1 leader, and then Epajar had the win. So I don't know what to say about that at the moment, but yeah, round 1 leader. You can't call it. You can't call it. I don't want to call it.
Anyone is looking also as smooth as how good Hermitage Cologne looked there, and Gilles Thomas as well. We talk about smoothness, and we can talk about Victor Bettendorf, who was outstanding, but I've said it before, the way Gilles Thomas jumps beyond his years, and I don't want to put a number to him because he's so beyond whatever the 26 years of life are, but he looks like, Fredrik, he has been jumping classes like this for 15 years.
It was, you know, this first round was about perfection. It was about perfection in the preparation. That's what Kukuk said. Should have jumped 1 more round to get relaxed. It's about the preparation. Then it is about your plan and execution. We've seen a few mistakes in execution. Then we have seen a few light rubs and just not the perfect form on the day. But the 4 clears were 4 perfectly ridden round, and I have to go through the list. Was there somewhere around that was not clear, that maybe deserved to be clear, that not had the hesitation? De Luca had a bit that agitation already coming in. I'm just going through it. Eduardo Alvarez Aznar, you could say, oh, but that's a pity, but also the look. So when the horse was on point, when the rider was on point, you had the clears. But when it was 1% off with either one of the 2 athletes, you had the rails. Yeah. It had to be perfect, and I really like that, because that's what this Super Grand Prix is about. And it's not about selling the Super Grand Prix, but if you think about it from a neutral perspective, it was about producing perfection.
And perfection was required. We do have a short comment from Eduardo Alvarez Aznar for those looking for the fairy tale story from Rockefeller at 19 years of age to be crowned as Super Grand Prix champion. For now, as it stands, it looks like that may be a stretch, by the way, on who's jumping ahead of him clear. Let's hear from the Spaniard.
Rockefeller was brilliant as always. Just tell me what happened at the wall there, a horse that's seen that sort of fence so many times in his life.
Well, he was a bit surprised when I came into the ring. He saw and he was a little bit spooky over there. Then I did another turn just to show him. And then actually he didn't spook till the last minute, that he felt a little bit, looking a bit down in the takeoff. And I think that's why he had the wrap there. But for the rest, I'm very happy. He jumped good and he really tried. It's a tough track and big jumps. And okay, happy with the result. Let's see how we finish the first round, and then keep trying for the second one.
Good luck for the second round. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Incredible, incredible season for Rockefeller, but is it one step too far then to make it the fairy tale finish in the Super Grand Prix? It does just give the impression that, as Fredrik pointed out, winning it on a 4 in the first round doesn't seem likely. History tells us that more than half the time in the history of the Super Grand Prix, the round 1 leader has gone on to get over the line. Shall we play some comparison games?
Okay.
I know you like a comparison game. We also need to talk about how Max Kuhne looked very smooth, by the way. Let's take nothing away from the 2024 LGCT season champion, because he also has a point to prove. He also wants to do the double like Ben Mayer did, only man to ever have done so. Max Kuhne, take nothing away from those around him, looked very, very smooth today, Fredrik. He looked untroubled. It looked like he had plenty of time on the fences. He did not seem to put a foot wrong either, did he?
Comparison is the thief of happiness, but who do you want to compare him to, Max Kuhne?
If we're talking about Bittendorf being very, very smooth,
okay.
Max looked very, very smooth as well. If you want to talk about Gilles Thomas looking smooth, Max looked smooth too. Untroubled, lots of calmness.
Let's compare him to the 4 that have jumped clear. Janne Meyer is a winner. A real winner. Janne Meyer is determined. She wants to switch off when she sees that last bench and just go for it. She's really a winner in any type of form or situation. Gilles Thomas has that as well, but we've never ever seen Hermitage Cologne get pushed against the clock. We know he's got stride, but has he got the knock on the wood, the knock on the floor, the extra energy to really...
That X factor.
Yeah. Max Kuhne is also not a serial winner. I mean, as an example, let's take the Monte Carlo Grand Prix. Should have won that Grand Prix, but didn't. He's a winner, but not a serial winner. He's not super competitive. And then you come to Bettendorf, who in the shouldering classes, the other classes that were held here, with Cancun Torel, he was top 3, I think, 3 times. So I just want to draw there the perspective of who has got that competitive nature in horse or rider in experience. And then again, you're looking at Messi, but mainly at Victor Bettendorf. So I wonder if Max Kuhne is ready to step out of that comfort zone
and be a little
really
aggressive with it. Be a little aggressive.
Because it was beautiful. It was so light. It was so easy. But is he now ready to take that last step? I don't know.
All right, well, a second round of a Super Grand Prix comes your way very, very shortly. It is so difficult, even if we just focus on the group of clears alone, to try and find out, to try and identify which of these fantastic riders, which of these incredible horses, as Fredrik points out, is not just going to be able to conquer the course, but really be able to grudge out that win and do what's necessary to get over the line and be crowned champion later on tonight. We take a quick break. We remind you as to how these phenomenal riders have reached this point at the end of the 2024 season. And we'll see you back here live in the GCTV studio for round 2 of the 2024 Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix.